Hey, hi, and hello, everyone. It's Susan back again with 12 to 60 Comics. Again, I'm here sharing my journey of being a comic collector and letting my comic collection go. Today, I'm going to bring you up to speed with how things are going on the eBay. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm getting the hang of it. I've sold a few things. I've posted up to like over 30 uh, listings, so that's exciting. I grabbed another box from the storage unit that I want to go through today with you. It's on the top of the box. It says Earth hyphen Elektra. So I have no, sorry, it's Earth hyphen Exiles. That's what it is, and it's the Exiles part I'm kind of excited about. So let's see what's going on. First, let me give you a little bit of that update. Okay, so let me bring you up to speed on eBay. I think the two big new items that I have on eBay are Harley Quinn, and yes, I decided to do it. I put Criminal on. Um, Going through Harley Quinn and posting it was really interesting because at first, because I had this is Harley Quinn, this is the very first volume of Harley Quinn, and Terry Dodson and Carl Kessel, I think for the first 20 or so issues, and I have it's a complete set. And so at first I broke it down into, like smaller lots of, issue one, issue two, issues three, four, five, and kind of focusing on some of the different keys that are here. Where there are lots of keys, I was really surprised. This is a really great look at that. Oh, love it. Terry Dodson's a great artist, with inking by his wife Rachel. Amazing. But what I ended up doing is I ended up deciding to put it all on as one huge lot. So it's Harley Quinn Volume 1, issues 1 through 38. And I did some research. That's half of what I'm doing on eBay, is doing some research to figure out exactly how much I should charge for these things. So I think I have it in there at a decent sales price. As a separate lot, I put together the Batman Harley and Ivy miniseries, which is super cute. Who doesn't love that? Okay, so the other series that I wanted to put on, it was the first podcast I did. I wasn't sure if I was going to put Criminal on, because I'm a big noir fan. I'm a big hardcore detective kind of person. Apparently I have a lot of fandoms, but Criminal was such an amazing book, or is such an amazing book. Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, terrific art. This is volume 1. This is the Icon series, so before it went over to Image. And I found out, as I was sort of doing some research to think about whether or not to put this on eBay, I just found out it's going to be a TV show, which I think is terrific. And in the spirit of trying to let these things go to people who will enjoy them, I am putting it on eBay. So if you're interested, this is a complete set, which I didn't see a whole lot of complete sets of Criminal on eBay. This is a complete set, issues 1 through 10 of the Icon series. So take a peek. Okay, let's see what's in the Exiles Earth box. No idea. Throw that over there. All right, well, Elektra. That's cool. Elektra. Gotta love Elektra. Earth X. I don't really remember Earth X. Ooh. That's cool looking. Boy, I need to do a little research into this. I have no idea what... Oh. Punisher action is that? Looks like Alex Ross art. Okay, I'm going to have to do a little research into that. Elektra. I know I have like most of the Marvel Knights series for her. Let's see what else. That's the Saga by Frank Miller. I think that might have been the very first miniseries. Then there was, the Marvel Knights series that Rucka wrote a lot of. Brian Michael Bendis wrote some of that. I think Rhodey wrote that down the road. That one went on for quite a while. And then, of course, in those heyday of Elektra times, there's like probably multiple... Oh, Elektra and Wolverine. That's another Rucka. Another miniseries. There's so many Elektra miniseries. I don't know how many I have. Okay, so Empire. That was a DC book by Mark Waid and Barry Kitson. God, I'm going to have to read that again, too. I don't think I remember that one. The Establishment was a Wildstorm book. I think it was kind of weird. Huh. I'm gonna have to look at that too. Oh my gosh, so many things I have to reread before I sell them. And then the Eternals. I don't think, I'm trying to remember if I loved this. John Romita Jr. and Neil Gaiman. Okay, well, all right, take a look at that. And then Exiles. Oh, I can't wait to talk to you guys about Exiles. Okay, how awesome is that cover? Oh, beautiful. All right, I'm going to talk to you guys about this. Okay, so finding a treasure trove of stuff over there in the e-box. Two books popped out that I want to talk about a little bit. Two different, series and characters that are so different from one another that I kind of wanted to share them. One is Elektra, and the other is Exiles. And these books could not be, I think, any different. And yet both have brought me great joy over the years. So, Elektra. You all know Elektra, huge character. Started out in the Daredevil comics and then just became huge in the Daredevil comics. Obviously, when you think Elektra, you have to think Frank Miller, both as in terms of his art style and the creation of her, but then also the series that he did with her. And I just think when I think Elektra, I think Frank Miller. And I think Elektra to me was this really cool female character who was in the gray area, like really part hero, part villain, the whole assassin thing. I think that, over the years, Elektra's backstory and personality have shifted and changed so much. There have definitely been representations of her that I really liked. There are other ones where I'm like, that's not really the Elektra I know and love. And I'm curious to know what people think. I'm sure I'm not the only person who thinks that. When I think about like the Daredevil movie with Jennifer Garner as Elektra, I think, boy, they missed. Boy, they took a big old swing and they missed. And the thing is, I don't think Jennifer Garner's a bad actor. I think that she has this wonderfully elastic face. I think that she's super expressive. I think she's got these great, sparkly, mischievous eyes. I think she's got one of those $10 billion smiles. And she was obviously really great at like the physical stuff from the Alias show. But they just missed that. I mean, I cannot remember if there was ever a time in a book that Elektra smiled. I really don't remember it. Like that was not her go-to thing in the stories. Elektra was serious, she was gritty, she was dark. And that was what was appealing. Like she was not presented in this, she was never the damsel in distress. She was never the ingenue. She was never, and this was a time like when she started coming out in the stories, like this was a time when the female heroes were always sort of a backstop to the male characters, and they had very female kinds of powers. And now you have this woman who is kicking a lot of guys' butts, including Daredevil, and not apologizing about it. And I loved that about Elektra. I thought that was really compelling. But then, of course, as she got more popular, as they started to spin her out into her own series, I think they did have to sort of think about, well, let's make her a fuller character. Let's give her some flaws and weaknesses. Let's give her some warmth. And so when Marvel launched their whole Marvel Knights imprint, I guess you'd call it, when they redid Daredevil and they launched the Marvel Knights series of Elektra, I really loved it. Like, I thought it was really good. I think they did a really nice job. I've said before, I really like sort of espionage, secret agent, thriller type comics that are not just your classic superhero things. And so the Marvel Knights Elektra started, I love this. You got this, violent content disclaimer. Like, what was your first clue? I don't know. Maybe this lady who's looking like she's going to kill you? Probably that. But anyway, so Brian Michael Bendis, who was huge at Marvel at the time, huge everywhere at the time, started the Elektra series. And then the next writer, I think around issue 6 or 7, I think it was Greg Rucka, took over. You will hear me say ad nauseum how much I love Greg Rucka. Still love Greg Rucka. Loved his run on Elektra. And the series actually lasted quite a while, and I thought it was very, very good. So that's Elektra, gritty, dark crime. Love it. You know, it's not like that. Exiles. Exiles was like the complete opposite of that. I'm going to put this up here so you can enjoy this awesome cover. So, Exiles. So, for those of you who love the X-Men, right? And Exiles was sort of X-Men adjacent. It technically is sort of in the X-Men universe and world. It's about mutants and things like that. But it's really about these characters who are, you know, it's the classic trope of, you know, the time brokers are these people who need people to go and correct the timeline, kind of a thing. Like that storyline is basically what Exiles is about. But the characters, man, the characters are so cool. And so basically they go in, these time brokers, and they capture various superheroes from various worlds and timelines and things like that, pull them together, put a team together, and the team is the Exiles. And the primary characters that are Mimic, Blink, Morph, and the thing that was really cool about Exiles, if somebody died, they stayed dead. I love that. It's unusual. So the thing that is so different from between these comics is the level of humor and the way that the art supports the humor. And I just really like I don't know, like to me, Exiles is what comic books are intended to be. Like when people think about comic books, I think Exiles is quintessential. Written by Judd Winnick, who's a wonderful human being, and with amazing art by Mike McKone. And when you think about like Elektra, heavy inking, heavy detail, really gritty, that Frank Miller style. Then you look at like a Mike McKone with these beautiful, simple, elegant lines, but so capturing without being goofy or stupid, capturing expression and elasticity of characters, of movement. There's a certain kind of grace and humor combined. I loved it. If you don't know who Judd Winnick is, I don't know why we're talking. Judd Winnick was a great writer, is a great writer. One of the things, and I don't have it out here right now, or I'd show it to you, is a graphic novel that he did called Pedro and Me. And for me, that was an eye-opener about what graphic novels could be. Because it's kind of memoir. It was very serious. It was very real life. It was very moving and emotional. It was about his relationship with his friend Pedro, I believe passed away of AIDS, and about their journey together. And it was really amazing. And Judd Winnick's great. He did a great run on Green Lantern. He did an amazing run on Exiles. I'm sure that you can get the trades on Exiles. If you want to buy them from me, that's fine too. But I highly recommend Exiles if you haven't read it yet. Okay, let me show you a couple of things about, this is just the first issue of Exiles, about what I mean when I talk about Mike McKone's art. I mean, obviously, right there on the cover, you can see it's just that, and I'm not really good about describing styles of art, but there is a simplicity and a beauty to his art that I just really loved. While at the same time, you know, like you look at the backgrounds are not fully like these fleshed out details, but they are there where you need them, and they really put focus on the characters, which to me is a really cool style. And at the same time, he is so good at expression. I mean, just look at that. That's Blink, by the way, having her blinking power where she just pops up and shows up everywhere. And then, you know, this is the whole part where the team, you know, meets. This is right here. This character is Morph. And this is, I mean, the whole humor and heart of this. That's the thing that's great about this book, is it's not just about, you know, funny gags and goofy characters. It's very much about funny gags and goofy characters, and you really, really care a lot about them and what they're going through. Again, terrific expressions, and then you get sort of just the playing with the different size. Anyway, I really love this book, and I hope that's obvious, and I hope that you all enjoy it as much as I did, because it was a terrific book. and it was great because it went outside the bounds and the, you know, X-Men as usual, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it was really nice to have something that was very new and very refreshing. All right, so, one of the challenges of this eBay thing is trying to figure out what sells, what doesn't sell, how to price it. That was a big challenge with the Harley Quinn stuff. So it looks like there's still a lot of market for the Elektra stuff, especially like the Elektra Saga. I don't see it going for like huge prices, but there still seems to be significant demand out there. So I'm pretty excited about that. I don't think that's gonna. I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna break it into smaller lots. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Exiles, sadly, less so. I'm seeing not quite that many. A lot of sales actually of the trade paperbacks, but of the actual individual books, not so much. Exiles 1 to 25 recently sold for $36. A complete run was $180. I think I may have a complete run. It's not in this box, but I might hold off on that and see if I can't find the rest of them because I'm pretty sure I have the whole thing. And I'll just put the whole thing up. Yeah. Well, I'll let you know. Take care.